Hi Rubies, hope you're well today. Thank you for checking out today's video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Hannah Ruby. Welcome to the channel. I do new videos every Sunday. And welcome back to everybody. If you've seen my channel before, I hope you've all had a great week. Again, I do look quite windswept because it has been raining pretty much non-stop this week. And I've got in from work. Unfortunately, I think it's going to rain for the next couple of weeks too, which is a shame. But summer is on the horizon, guys. Come on, we're nearly there. And with kind of the easing of COVID rules and everything kind of slowly getting back to normality, we've got to feel optimistic. So I thought I would start off. So today I am doing my gig wish list. I am aware that the last couple of weeks have been a lot of chatty videos. And in all honesty, that's because I have had a lot on the last couple of weeks, and it has been easier to fit in the time to film these chattier videos than kind of sitting down and setting up all my gear for the covers and the songs. I hope you will excuse me. Obviously, I've been filming for my music video, and I've had a bunch on with my job as well. So yeah, next week I am doing a live stream on my Facebook. Usually it's the end of May, but it's going to be next week instead. I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday yet. If you can follow me on Facebook at Hannah Ruby Music. If you type in www.facebook.com/Hannah Ruby Music, you'll find the page to kind of check all that out. I do a monthly catch up. I play some songs, some original, some covers. I hope you will join me for that. And then the week after that, which is the 30th, there actually won't be a video that week. I'm going to take a break from videos that week for my lifestyle, gaming and music channel. So yeah, the weekend of the 28th to the 30th, no videos that week. Next week, the 22nd, 23rd, there'll be a live stream. And then obviously on the 6th of June, we'll resume with videos. And I'm going to try and get that to be a cover or an original song, so we can get some music videos in there, because there have been a lot of chatty videos recently. Right, so yeah, with that aside, I thought today I could share my gig wish list. Anyone that's interested in music probably has some gigs that they wish that they could have attended, some bands or artists that they would have liked to have seen. So this is my question to you as well, is if you had a time machine and you could go to anywhere in history, what artists or bands would you see? And is there a particular gig of theirs that you would have liked to have been at? And that's the question I'm going to answer in this video today. I would love to know your answers if you could leave them in the description below. You don't have to list as many as me. You could just give me one if you like, or as many as you like. I would love to read them all. So I'm going to just talk about some of the ones I've got here. I've got them written down so I don't forget any. So actually number one on my gig wish list would be to see my dad's band. My dad was in a local band before I was born. He was a drummer, and I would have loved to have seen his band. That would have been awesome. Next up, I've got Elvis. Elvis is obviously one of my top artists that I really enjoy, and I don't actually have a specific gig for him that I would have liked to have seen. Probably just Elvis in his heyday would have been brilliant. Yeah, basically pretty much any Elvis gig in his heyday, to be honest. Next up, I've got the Beatles. The Beatles are my favourite band ever, and I would have just loved to have seen them. Obviously any gig would have been amazing, but I've actually written down here, I am from Exeter, and they did come to Exeter and they performed at the ABC. Off the top of my memory, I think it was in 1964, but I would like to check that a second. The Beatles, ABC, Exeter. The Beatles, it says 1963 and 1964. Did they do twice? Wow, I think maybe they did do twice then. Oh, the Savoy Cinema. Okay, well, it was around that time anyway, 1963, 1964, that they were in Exeter. That would have been really, really cool. And I can imagine that must have been so exciting to have seen them. And then the other one I've got written is for Shea Stadium. That one just looked, if you look at the video on YouTube, it just looks crazy. Like Beatlemania was really, really high then. And yeah, you probably couldn't have really heard them, to be honest, with all the screaming. I mean, it's part of the reason they decided to stop doing touring, because they couldn't hear themselves, it got boring. But I just think to like kind of be a part of that and just kind of be a part of that experience, you know, would have been kind of cool. And hopefully not getting squished by everyone going kind of crazy. But it would have been cool to kind of see it and just be there in history and just experience like how big of a phenomenon I can't even speak today, you know what I mean, how much of a big deal they were at the time, and you know, still continue to be kind of like a, you know, they're huge, they kind of shaped music. In the same vein, I've also written down Paul McCartney. It's so frustrating actually, because I was so close to seeing him as well, because he did a few tours in, I want to say it was like 2018 or something, and he had like 4-5 kind of dates in the UK, because he never comes to the UK anymore. And me and my dad were like, right, we are gonna go. We're happy with the Liverpool one. It's quite far from us, but we're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. It'd be awesome to go to Liverpool, obviously where the Beatles started, where they were from. And we were like, right, yep, it's kind of expensive, but yep, okay, we're willing to do it. You know, a bit more than we like to pay, but we're prepared to pay up to this much or so, you know, to go and see him, because it's such a huge opportunity. So I was at work that day, and my dad was there ready, kind of on the website as soon as it went live to book it. And I'm not kidding you, it sold out within, I think he said 5-10 seconds. Kind of, he wasn't even able to get on the page because it was gone. And from my understanding, if we kind of looked into it, was this was through, who was it through? I think it was Ticketmaster. And there was a pre-sale beforehand for American Express card holders, and I think they could buy up to 8 tickets each. What happened was all the ticket toots had bought up all these tickets and then resold it on their website for double, triple the cost. And I cannot tell you how infuriating that was. And I don't know if it's better now, but it was just the fact that this it was happening all the time as well. All these things were happening with tickets being bought and then sold on for excruciating numbers. It's just so upsetting for, like, as a fan, for this stuff to keep happening, you know. And obviously it wouldn't have just been us. There'd be so many other people that were so disappointed that they couldn't get on and buy these tickets. Yeah, it's just sad. So that was my story with that. He hasn't come back to the UK since. Hopefully he will, and we'll finally be able to go sometime. But I know there was a lot of people that missed out with that one because of all these tickets being bought up. And they were resold on a site called, I think it was Viagogo or something like that. And it was just, yeah, it was really, really sad. So yeah, one day, Paul McCartney, hopefully I will see you. Hopefully. And then I've got David Bowie up next. I mean, this isn't really in any order, it's just the order I wrote it down in. He actually came to Exeter, and I've got another story of that. That was in November of 1995. My mum was actually pregnant with me then, and both she and my dad went to the Bowie concert, and I think he was at, I think if I read rightly, it was at West Point. I want to find out actually while I'm Exeter. Yeah, West Point, Exeter, 26th of November 1995, which funnily enough as well is also my grand's birthday. And there's actually a video of it online, so I can kind of go, I suppose. And my mum always says that technically I was there because she was pregnant, but you know, I always say not really. So yeah, that would have been a really cool one to have gone to. But obviously it's really cool that the video does exist online, so I can kind of virtually go, you know, and kind of think to myself, well, I was kind of at that concert where that video is, even though kind of, you know, also not really. And then I've also got Michael Jackson round like the Bad era, because he'd done Thriller by then, he did Bad. yeah, just kind of at his height, wasn't he? Just fantastic. And then kind of along the Michael Jackson line, Motown 25 would have been awesome to have seen him and obviously his brothers, the Jackson 5. They did this really great set there where they kind of did all their old songs, and then Michael kind of, he did Beat It, I think, or no, was it Billie Jean? He did Billie Jean on his own afterwards. And it was just, I've watched that video so many times, it's just amazing, so great. Then I've written Queen, because of course, I think the one with them everyone would have loved to have been at was Live Aid in 1985. It was just an amazing show full of so many amazing artists as well, for a great cause. And just obviously the Queen set was just incredible. Anyone that's seen it online will know just how amazing it was. Just, yeah, they had the audience in the palm of their hand. It was just fantastic. Then also the next couple ones are more modern ones. I've written Taylor Swift. She's an artist I've always really enjoyed. I listened to a lot of her music when she was starting with the country stuff as well. Probably any of her gigs, to be honest. It would be quite interesting with her to kind of go to one of her earlier gigs where she was in country, and then one of the ones now where she's like a lot more poppy, and they're like the big shows with the lights and the dancing and stuff. It would be quite interesting. Then I've got Ed Sheeran. Now with him, he actually came and played in Exeter, and unfortunately he said it was one of the worst gigs of his life. This was before he was, big and he was famous. And I've told this story on my channel before, but in case you haven't heard of it, basically he came to Exeter, he did this gig, no one turned up, he kept pushing the time back and back and back, hoping someone would turn up, no one did, and eventually he had to start. And then obviously because he started later, he missed his train, and then he had to wait outside the train station until it opened and he could get a train home. So sad. So yeah, that was one of the worst gigs of his life. I know it sounds kind of weird saying I'd like to see it, but I'd like to see that gig compared to his gigs now, and just to see the difference, and just see the journey, I suppose. That would just be quite interesting. Because it would also be interesting to kind of like, you would get some kind of tips from it, seeing that first initial gig and then seeing what he's like now, how he does it differently and how he interacts with the audience differently, and how he holds himself, all of that stuff. Kind of his like mannerisms. I mean, obviously he's the same person, but his confidence would have grown and his skill would have grown, and it'd just be interesting. And then last up, I've got Billie Eilish. I think she'd be a really great one to see live too. Again, anyone would be awesome. So that is my gig wish list. As you can see, it is quite long, and if I thought about it, I probably could add even more, but they're like the main ones. I would love to know your gig wish list. If you had a time machine, where would you go? Who would you be seeing? So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Thank you again for all your support. Don't forget, next weekend is my live stream on Facebook, and then the week after, on the 30th, there won't be a video on this channel. But then I'll be back on the 6th. And I also did want to say hi to all you new subscribers as well. I've seen I've got a few new subscribers, as well as a huge thank you to all of the subscribers, new or old, for supporting me and my channel. You're all so appreciated, and yeah, I just really appreciate you. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you later. Bye.